Hey, what's up everybody? Anbraxas here, and I got a request via YouTube email. People want to know how I play Fury Warrior, why it works for me, and why it's not working for some other people. You know what? Short answer is, I don't actually know why it works for me and not for other people, but what I can do is go over everything that I use as a warrior. And you know what? You're not going to really be all that impressed. I keep it pretty simple, so let's go ahead and get into it though. So let's take a quick look at my gear. Now this is actually my prot set. It's just regemmed and reforged. Last time I made my Fury Warrior video, that's what I was using. As you can see here, I've got like 25% PvP power. Like, I'm doing like no damage. Not to mention the fact that I'm also still using PvE weapons for Titan's Grip. I am working on getting two one-handed malevolent weapons because I already have one for my my prot warrior set. So basically that's what's going on with that. But I just wanted to quickly go over the gear and talk about what I do. Well, basically what I end up doing is I take my socket bonuses. I throw in my strength, my PvP power, and if it's yellow socket, I throw in the resilience. And like I said, this is the same gear that I actually use when I go to prot warrior flag carry. So, you know, there's potential for me to be doing way more damage than I'm actually doing right now. Like I said, because it is my prot warrior gear, let me get away from these grunting orcs. I don't know why they put these here. You know, because it is my prot warrior gear, it's enchanted for prot warrior flag carries. I've got dodge and stamina. I'm not set up for DPS. So I guess you could kind of call it cheating. Regular battlegrounds are different than rated RBGs or arenas. I kind of cheat when I go into regular battlegrounds because I take potions with me. I take my herbalist stuff, anything that I can do to regain health, because I don't run with pocket healers. Like, I never go into a battleground with a pocket healer. It's a very, very rare occasion that I get heals in a battleground, unless I'm the top damage. Then usually some healer will just come start healing me up because you know, I'll keep them alive. So, you know, just looking through my gear, you can see that I'm still enchanted and everything for prot warrior flag carrying. All I got is some DPS gems, and like I said, let me switch back. Look how big of a difference this is, switching between my Fury Warrior weapons and my Prot Warrior weapons. I gain almost 10, a little over 10% PvP power just from throwing on my weapons. So you can imagine what kind of damage I'm actually missing out on. So we're just gonna, you know, now that we've touched on the gear a little bit, let's talk about, you know, the battlegrounds itself, and my talents. You know, when I do Fury Warrior videos, I go with a specific setup. If I'm doing just regular battlegrounds, I go with one setup. If I'm doing rated battlegrounds, arenas, I go with an entirely different setup. So I'm gonna just give them to you both. I'm not gonna switch everything around because, as you can see, I'm a little low on gold there. Basically, I just run double time. I run in rage regeneration just because when you don't have a healer running around with you, sometimes you just need to pop that major heal. Particularly if you get caught in a one-on-one battle, or maybe you're in a duel out in the world. I run with my rage regeneration. I've got my life spirits. I usually have a couple of health potions. I usually carry at least one around with me, and then I've got my alchemist flask. Like that's all I run with. And, oh, and of course my bandages. So I need to actually hurt myself here a little bit to show you what I'm talking about. So, you know, when you see me in videos, you might not notice it, but I pop a lot of self-healing while I'm actually playing. This should be an appropriate height to fall from. So, you know, when I'm hurt, you know, I throw out life spirit, maybe a health potion, and then I bandage. And, you know, that's almost as good as having a healer with you. You can see I went from half health to full health in just a couple of seconds. You know, that's a little tip and trick that I do. But as far as talents are concerned, you know, I keep my rage regeneration. If I'm doing duels or arena or rated battlegrounds, I take second wind because at least I know I have a healer, and then the second wind's only there to save my butt if, you know, I've run out of range or something stupid like that. I can pop a cooldown and second wind will keep me up. Regular battlegrounds, staggering shout. Rated battlegrounds, piercing hell. Regular battlegrounds, blade storm. Rated Battlegrounds, Bladestorm. As far as Fury's concerned, like I do like Shockwave, but in all honesty, I need the extra damage that Bladestorm's actually going to give me. And you'll see what I'm talking about as we move down the list. I keep my Mass Power Reflection. I don't have any use for Safeguard or Vigilance personally. I think those two talents are complete waste for PvP. There's very few situations you can actually use them in. And then the level 90 talents is kind of controversial because they fucked Avatar up pretty bad. I'll run Avatar if I'm doing duels or I'm doing arena. Rated Battlegrounds, I run with Bloodbath. Not as a prot warrior, but if I'm DPSing, I'll run with Bloodbath. As a prot warrior, I take Stormbolt. I save Avatar for duels, maybe arena sometimes. That's partly the reason why I took Bladestorm, is because I need that movement and parrying effect immunity, because all classes basically have some sort of auto-attacking snare at this point. So those are the talents I run with. I have my Staggering Shout, and of course if I'm in RBGs or Arena, I run with Piercing Howl just to keep that snare on my enemies. But I'll show you why, because this is probably one of the best troll moves, as far as I'm concerned, that a warrior can do in regular Battlegrounds or Arena. Like, okay, so your goal is to put out as much damage as you can. Run in there, pop some cooldowns, get that Bladestorm up and running. Now you got the Bloodbath effect affecting him. And just Staggering Shout, they're all rooted. They all have to sit there and take the rest of that Bladestorm. Some Whirlwinds if you feel like throwing out some Whirlwinds. That's basically it. We'll go into the DPS rotation here in a second. So that's going to be it for the talent portion. We'll just go over macros real quick. I run really, really simple macros. I basically do everything with my keyboard and mouse. As you can see, all this stuff over here is hotkeyed. Everything down here is hotkeyed. I've got 1 3 equals, shift 3 equals, control 3 equals. And I run some of the simplest macros. Here's one people particularly hate, the charge battle shout macro. I like it. I don't have time to, sit there and map out, okay, where am I going to put my battle shout in case I want to battle shout and not charge. If I'm on the target I'm supposed to be on, I'm going to be too close to charge anyone else anyway. So let's see. We'll just cast battle shout real quick. And if I really need to run my battle shout and I don't want to charge, that's all I have to do. Just a quick turn around. But as you see, battle shout's off cooldown, so I can charge. If I'm DPSing when it comes back off cooldown and I'm standing right there, I can go ahead and just cast it again. I don't use my Heroic Leap macro anymore. I've got it tied into my Naga. It's just a 1-button press. Basically hits equals. Wherever the mouse is, then it clicks down, and it's just an instant cast Heroic Leap. This is the Prot Warrior version of the macro I just showed you before. It's Commanding Shout. I like to keep Commanding Shout on that macro because, I can cast it while I'm running. Anyone who just rezzed, who doesn't have the buff, because we don't really bring priests anymore, they can pick that up and get their health. Probably the most important macros I have are my DPS macros. It just pops my racials, recklessness, deadly calm. Deadly calm's kind of important because it allows you, while you're going to have that burst window open, it allows you to go ahead and get off some relatively cheap heroic strikes. So it's kind of necessary to have deadly calm in there. This is just my general, I'm going to shit on someone's day macro. This is what you'll see me pop, and I have Bloodbath and my badge tied into it because then you see some of this stuff's on cooldown. Nope, I guess it's not. Anyhow, some of the stuff's on a 1-minute cooldown, and I can just pop it whenever to get my Bloodbath rolling. Alright, let's stop this for a second. And then the other 2 macros I have are weapon swap macros, which are pretty important. Because of the way Blizzard's macro system works out, I don't know why they have it set up this way, but you can't equip two-handed weapons with the same name. So you literally have to either take a sword and an axe, or an axe and a mace, or any combination of those. But if you have 2 weapons with the same name, this is how you actually have to set it up. You have to do equip slot 16, main hand weapon, and equip slot 17, offhand weapon. which actually brings me to my next point I want to talk about quickly. When you're playing as a Fury Warrior, we don't gain any extra PvP power off of our offhand weapon, so pick up a raid item. Pick up something with a higher item level than the PvP weapon for your offhand, because all you need are the stats off of it. You can get a shot-touched weapon, that's your best offhand. And most of Fury's attacks, except for with the exception of Wild Strike and Raging Blow, only attack with the main hand weapon anyway. So you want to put your strongest weapon in your main hand, your weakest weapon in your offhand, and you want your offhand to also be your stats weapon. You know, really simple, self-explanatory stuff. Let me go over like quick rotation. I have both weapons enchanted with Elemental Force. It's just some extra damage. So the way Mastery works for a Fury Warrior is it increases our damage while we're in rage. So you'll see when I have my Raging Blow up, I won't use it until it's close to coming down. I've got 6 seconds on it still. I'm kind of out of attacks here, so I'm going to head and use it. And that's about it. You just bloodthirst until you get some Wild Strike procs. You want to keep your Enrage running as long as you can before you actually use your Raging Blow. And I'm actually losing rage here because I'm not in battle stance, so we'll switch to that. Got 10 seconds on that Raging Blow. I've got 2 of them available to me. Here we go. 1, 2. I mean, that's about it. You know, if you're in an AoE situation, you got your Blade Storm. You can Whirlwind to start running up Meat Cleaver procs. Thunderclap to reduce damage. That's about it. That's basically all I do in Battlegrounds. Fury Warriors really aren't all that complicated to play. There is one more macro I have. Let me see if it's working right now. Yeah. I have a macro set up through the Razor Naga. It's not set up through World of Warcraft that throws down my Demoralizing Banner and then targets it and hits Intervene. You know, that's another tip and trick if you're trying to catch up to somebody. As far as Reforges are concerned, hit and expertise are your top priorities. Your hit, you may as well just go with the stock minimum because you're going to be hitting with your special attacks just about as often as your white attacks. You know, if you miss, you miss. That's the way Fury Warriors are. That's why Arms Warriors kind of consider to be the better spec of the two because, you know, once you're hit capped, you are always hitting. I just like Fury, so that's what I run with. I hope Blizzard someday fixes like the offhand miss chance because 18% is just kind of ridiculous. After hit and expertise, crit, and then mastery, because mastery goes into your Unshackled Fury passive, which is the percentage of damage increased while you're enraged. That's really it, guys. I mean, you know, I show you my tips and tricks, you know, with like my herbalist things, 20,000 health a second. You know, I've got my potions, I got my winnable bandages, and then when I go into Battlegrounds, I just have fun. And, you know, whenever I flag carry, I just throw gems in my gear, reforge it again, and I'm good to go. So I hope this answers some of your questions. That's about it. Stay tuned. Single-Minded Fury is coming up. I've just got to get the conquest together to get the second weapon, and then I'll be showing you some of that. Check you later.